Hello, this is Joe Pearson, and this is a presentation for the CEQA contract amendments. In April 2020, the city issued a request for qualifications for environmental services and consulting firms. Each contract was for $200,000 for an initial 3-year term. The three consultant firms, Rincon Consultants, ESA, and Dudek, responded and their contracts were executed. The Rincon agreement currently has approximately $100,000 remaining in the agreement, which will expire in 8 months. The ESA agreement currently contains approximately $80,000 remaining, and it will also expire in 9 months. And the Dudek agreement currently contains approximately $20,000 remaining in the agreement, and that will expire in 9 months. Amendments are now required for all three agreements due to the significant increases in the proposals for task services, a trend noted by other cities as well. These increased costs are driven by new state CEQA requirements, additional senior consulting staff needs, general labor rate increases, and increased time for reviews and document processing. By way of example, current proposals for large CEQA documents range between 80,000 and 100,000, an increase of almost 100% over city agreements does not permit staff to issue tasks for new application reviews. Planning is recommending amendments increase the total agreement amounts of each contract to $750,000. This action would address industry cost increases and additional CEQA and NEPA efforts, allowing staff to timely process current and future applications. The firms providing planning application reviews as required by the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, and the National Environmental Protection Act, or NEPA law. Are paid for with applicant funds placed on deposit and account for the majority of services rendered by these firms. Again, if approved, these amendments would allow for uninterrupted completion of CEQA efforts currently underway, create capacity for additional work tasks required by new project applications, accommodate a portion of the department's future submittal forecasts of larger projects within this time period. And the request amendments would support environmental documents over the remaining duration of the agreements. And also allow for flexibility in the selection of consultants for individual projects, which is important in the event of conflicts of interests that may arise. The proposed amendments to each of the agreement are summarized here. The proposed Rincon agreement would be increased by $350,000 to a total agreement amount of $750,000, and the contract would be extended to January 1st, 2026. The proposed ESA amendment would be increased by an amount of $450,000 to a total agreement amount of $750,000. And again, the contract would be extended to January 1st, 2026. And then the proposed Dudek amendment would increase the existing contract amount by $550,000 to a total agreement amount of $750,000. And again, this contract will also be extended to January 1st, 2026, consistent with the other agreements the city has in place. With regards to the fiscal impact, no budget appropriation is being requested. Funding for services under these agreements are collected from applicants and deposited into an account from which invoices are paid. This will not impact the planning division's general fund budget. However, on rare occasions, services from these specialty environmental consultants may be required to support city projects using grant or other funding sources as budgeted for the effort. Based on the information presented here, staff recommends that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee recommend that the mayor execute the 3 agreements requested.